Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. So there's a lot to talk about today. So I'm going to do my best to cover everything and kind of share the thought process with everything. And I guess I don't need to say that. That's what the fuck the show's about anyway, but whatever. So had a Zoom call with Mina. That's going to be at the end of this. I think it was maybe 20 minutes long, pretty short. And I'm very excited to be done with this current thing that we're doing, which is pretty much just accounting for every client that he has, putting it into Notion and then making it so that from this point forward, it's all in Notion. Because, and this is nothing against Mina, but the current system that he like the way that he works with this particular stuff is just so shit. It's just so shit. It doesn't account for renewals and individual times. It doesn't account for total amounts and the length and the package and and it's a system that works for him, and clearly it has worked wonders because he has, I don't know, like almost 200 clients now. So it's not that necessarily it's a shit system. I mean, it is, but it is, but not that it is or isn't. It's that it works for him, and he knows how to use it. It's also that I don't know. I'm not familiar with the work, the process, the workflow, the whatever of how he keeps track of all that stuff. So that being said, I'm so goddamn excited to be done with that, because once it's in Notion, it's just not going to ever be a problem ever again. And at this point, like I think tomorrow is going to be the day where I just sit down and bust it all out for Mina to get all the information into Notion, all the information that I can into Notion, and then be done with the spreadsheets. Because god damn, dude, what's frustrating, and you can probably hear it in the call, is he'll say blah, blah, blah. Does that make sense? And it's not like oh yeah, oh, absolutely. It's just, yeah, so just so I get it, and then I'll kind of repeat what he said. And it's because truthfully, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. It's like if you looked at me, my grandpa does this and we joke around, but it's like Mina looked at me and he's like, hey, make sure you clean the garage door after you sweep the mop, and then flip to chapter 5 and just keep on writing after after you hit the green light. Is that clear, bro? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'll figure it out, but yeah, so it's just frustrating. And I think why it's frustrating is because he has a line of thinking with this thing that he's using, and it works great because he knows how to use it. But for me, it's just like I wouldn't even consider in 1,000 years doing it this way. So it's hard for me to connect the dots on. It's just hard for me to connect the dots. And I think that's why it's very frustrating for me. But I did tell him, I was like, hey, man, I'm in my head. I want to make sure that with everything going on, you are happy and you are feeling like things are moving along and blah, blah. And he was like, hey, I appreciate it, bro, but get out of your head. I trust you. You're good. And so I was like, all right, cool. And I have not messaged Dawson back. I probably will tomorrow. I'm just kind of... Honestly, what's next for Mina and Dawson is to implement everything and to make everything usable that I've made up to this point. And I'm kind of just dragging my feet, to be honest, because it's such a pain in the ass. And I really just want to keep on working on the project, because after crunching numbers yesterday and brainstorming on what it would take for me to make $1 million. And the fact, dude, I mean this, like every time I say that, like my stomach drops, because I feel like truly it is in the realm of possibility now. I guess it's always been, because you can do anything in this world, but it just, the realization that, wow, this could very well be my life in the next year or two is just, it's hard for me to wrap my head around that, man. Because I've never seen more than $4,000 in my account. And before this month in my life, it was like $3,500. So there's a little whatever. So to clarify what I said, just barely, in my entire life, I've never seen more than $3,500 in my bank account ever, up until this month, in which it was like 4,000 something. I don't know the exact, but it was when I paid a bunch of stuff off for getting out of debt. So to think of a number that has 3 more zeros on the end of it, it's really hard for me to comprehend that. Because when I sit here and say, it's not okay. First of all, it's not like I need to sell 100,000 products this year to make $1 million. It's like I need to sell what I'm building 11 times a month. That's it. And I've rechecked the math. It's correct. And I don't know. If the crazy thing is I've entertained the idea of $10,000 for I guess we're going to talk about this again. Entertain the idea of $10,000 for the cost, because, dude, if somebody is, I don't know. I think a good selling point for me is to really advertise how many metrics it tracks and how it tracks it, and the amount of effort that the business owner needs to put in. And because if I can prove that it tracks 200 metrics, and the coach doesn't have to lift a finger, how valuable is that? And I think the more metrics it does track, the more that appeals to higher end coaches. Because, for example, me being a fitness coach that has 10 clients, I'm not going to even need 90% of what I've built, right? If I'm talking about myself as a fitness coach, if somebody designed what I'd made, right? And so all those metrics sound great, but I won't even need it. It's because it's like stuff with closers and stuff with employees and stuff with total hours worked. And it's like, well, if I'm a single solo dolo business guy, I'm not going to have employees. I'm not going to have closers. I'm not going to need to track I don't need that stuff. So it's less valuable. But so the more metrics I have, the more it appeals to a higher end coach. At least that's theory. It makes sense to me. And so my idea is to have it track as many possible metrics as I can, and then kind of use that as leverage as to why it costs the amount it does. And where I was going with that before I fucking derailed is that it attracts a higher end coach. A higher end coach makes more, and so therefore, if they're bringing home $70,000, $80,000 a month, that is 10 to 20%. 10 to 15% of their monthly income for one purchase. I mean, that's it for one purchase. So if they're doing $70,000 a year, that would be $840,000. Sorry, if they're doing $70,000 a month, that would be $840,000 a year. What the fuck is $10,000 to that? And so that makes me believe that $5,000 is way too cheap. And I don't know. I think the best course of action is to price it at $5,000. And then see how the calls go. If people are like, oh, easy, it's just like, oh, fuck. And if I, raise it to 6,000, people are like, oh, easy. Then I'll be like, oh, fuck. And then if I keep on going and, I'm at $8,000, people are like, it's a little pricey, man. I would say, oh, no worries, dude, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe I'll do that for, a few calls. And then if $8,000 is just like, oh, it's a little pricey, dude, maybe I just stick with $8,000. But what if I price it at $5,000 and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? And when I get to 10, people are like, oh, that's it? Like, what do I do then, dude? Fuck, that's crazy. So this is all very, very best case scenario. It's mental masturbation, just so exciting to think about. And there's a lot to learn. There's a lot, I'm probably not going to, a lot's going to go wrong before it's going to go right. It's not like I'm just going to hop on 10 calls tomorrow and sell 10 people. Fuck. Dude, I would shit my pants. I would shit 10 pairs of pants if I had 10 phone calls and sold 10 of them, because that would mean I made 50 grand in one day, which is what it would take me a full year of my goddamn life to make. I made it in one day. That is a 365x right there. Insanity. And I truthfully believe in my heart that 10 people all at once would not be a problem. I think that would be manageable. And that's just insane. And then from that point forward, it would be, $5 grand recurring from the 10 people total. And so just fucking insane, dude. Insane. So anyway, where I was going with this is if I charge $10,000 for all of this, then the amount of sales that I would need per day to reach $1 million would be, it looks like 7. Let's double check. Would it be 7? It would be 7. I would need 7 sale. Did I say day? I meant month. I would need 7 sales a month for a grand total of 84 coaches per year. So that would mean I'm raking in. This is actually pretty ironic that this is what it is. But 10 grand at 7 clients, that is $840,000 a month or a year. But with the recurring revenue that comes from the 500, it brings it up to $1,071,000. And yeah, truthfully, I don't know. Just saying those numbers out loud, god damn, dude, that's insane. If I went to 7,500, I would need, let's see how many sales per month. I would need 9. Damn near 8, but yeah, 9 would throw us over. It would throw us over by 100,000. Dude, just seeing those numbers, man. Oh, that's crazy that I'm even able to talk about this and somewhat be kind of in the realm of, it's just fucking crazy, dude. But where was it going? Yeah, so I'm just really trying to crank on all these metrics and make sure that I can accurately account for everything and make sure that everything is correct. And again, I've said this a million times, but just the more that I learn, the more that I actually go about building stuff, the more that I realize what can be better, what can be improved, and just better ways to do everything. There's something that I've realized that you can do, or I've discovered that you can do, or I guess learned, and that is just associating certain dates, timestamps, whatever, with actions. And then you can use those timestamps and dates and whatever to then categorize and average and, minimum, maximum, everything based on those dates. And you can put, you can track time with certain things based on certain times of events. And, for example, I have a formula that just looks at the date and it looks, so like if we sell a client and the client comes in and it's filled out from the closer form, it's going to have the date that the call was held and the date that the client paid for the program. If that date is this month, then it's going to look at, So if it's a perfect example. So today is July 30th, 2025, 9:39 p.m. It's going to look at the date of the sale. If the date of the sale is the same month as today's date, so today's July, then it's going to count it and it's going to put a 1 as a representation that, yes, count this. In another database, I have a roll-up that looks at all the sales that have that 1, which just says that sale was made this month, and then it counts it. The second that it becomes a new month, it no longer counts it. Doing all of this allows me to account for and track month-to-month amounts dynamically. And what I mean is I don't have to make a new month and to track all the sales that come in from the new month, because this does it automatically. It's a formula and it looks at the date. If the date is the same month as today's month, then it counts it. If it's not, then it doesn't. And it's just small things like that. You can do that with everything. You can do it with check-ins, like client check-ins. Is it the same week as the client checked in? Cool. Or if this is the same month, cool. Then this is their percentage for the month. You can do this, and you can just do this whole, I don't even know what you'd call it. It's just a different way of going about solving problems, especially in Notion, where it has different functionalities and parameters and restrictions. And did I say that twice? Don't know. Whatever. So yeah, I'm learning a lot as I go and build more. I mean, here's a great example. I went back to the PT Dom live call tracker, and I was going through that because it's been a project that I really haven't worked on in about a week. So I'm going through and making it better and improving it, and truthfully finishing it off because it's not quite done. And I told Britzy it'd be done by Friday morning, which means tomorrow night because today's Wednesday. And I'm looking through everything and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't work correctly. I know it. I know that it doesn't. And so I look at it, I click it, I test it, and sure as shit, it doesn't. And it's actually somewhat concerning because it's like, dude, I've built so much. It needs to work. It has to work. But I went through and looked at this and I'm like, dude, this can be so much better. I already found a couple errors and I can kind of tell how much I've learned because none of these things have emojis. None of these things have hints. There's no notes. There's no SOPs. There's no reminders. There's no what I still need to do. There's no checklist. It's just I get in the flow state, I build it, and then when I exit the flow state and then, go do whatever, come back, it's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I think that's just the biggest problem. So that's been easy to fix just by, writing. Like I have a big thing. It says notes to self. Working on submitting process /flow for submit live call into past live calls for comparing. Need to make graphs and charts for this. Need to run through the process of this stuff to ensure it works perfectly. This is where all the log calls go for data and comparison. And that's just a note to self so that when what the fuck was that? This is just a note to self so that when dude, what the fuck was that? Did I just have a stroke? Whatever. This is just so that when I start working on this tomorrow, that's so funny, that I'll be able to just kind of dive back in more smoothly than if I didn't have any notes or anything like that. So, yeah. Also, speaking of PT Dom and stuff, if you look at my hours, I am probably going to break even, and it's kind of a shitty thought that I will have worked 30 hours this month, and I'll get nothing for it technically because it's paying off my debts to PT Dom, which I think I only have one more payment after this. Everything after that is just pure profit, which is very exciting, provided I stay with them. If I don't, then it's all good. It was never budgeted. So anyway, this is what I sent to Britzy actually, so I'm just going to read it. I said, since I worked a massive 4 hours last month and was therefore still negative $369, that carries over to this month, correct? Which would mean I would need $369 June plus $500 July to break even, $869 total, before receiving a payout. And she doesn't even need to respond. I know that's what the fuck is going on. So that means I need to work, let's see how many hours exactly to get $869. I think it's just 28 on the dot. That's crazy. So I need to work 28 hours and I'll surpass 869. Which actually, let me just change this. We'll just go 869. What is this? I8. Where's that? Oh. Okay, so there we go. So right now I'm going to owe $24, but if I work 3 hours tomorrow, which will probably work closer to 4 or 5, we'll just put 4 on there. So that'd be 31. That means I'm going to get a payout of $101. And then I'll again for next month, because it's July still, I'll be negative 500 to start, because that's my dues that I pay to have the position that I do and not pay for any of the CLA stuff. Change Lives Academy, PT Dom, same thing. And I always forget, was my first month in October? Or was it in September? I can't remember. So let me actually go back and check. I know where to go. Let me log in really quick. Also, I don't know if you guys can hear my music. Just having some very soft shit playing in the background. Okay, so my first payment was loading. Damn. So my first, oh wait, no, that's correct. Okay, so my first payment was October, which means my last payment will be September, which means I need to pay, I'm in debt $1,000 more. So 1,000, let's see, let me go back to this. 32 hours is about $1,000. So between August 1st and September 30th, the likelihood that I'm going to work 32 hours is extremely high because we have transitioned shit into Notion. I'm very glad. And I want to say that I'm proud of myself for, persuading them to switch to Notion, but I just don't feel like I did shit. I just sent texts back. I've sent maybe 10 texts. I said, this is what we should do. Pros and cons. This is great. And let's do it. And they said, okay, are we sure we try these other things? I'm like, well, honestly, I think this, and this, a lot more customization. We can do this, blah, blah, blah. It's cool. And, I was trying to persuade them because if they wanted me to do shit in another software, I would say no. So, I don't know if I can just be like, yeah, I'm the fucking man. I persuaded them to use this. Now because of this, I'm going to get more money and more hours, more experience, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, but it is like part of me is proud of myself for making that happen. Other part of me is like probably would have happened anyway. But yeah, so hopefully after that, it's, it's just all gravy because, if I'm just doing, this is when it gets really cool. So this would be starting October 1st because I wouldn't have any pay. I wouldn't be in debt because I wouldn't be in the CLA technically anymore. So I wouldn't owe anything anymore. So everything after that is just pure money. So if I work an average of 10 hours per week, which here's this. So started working this month. Again, it's July. On July 15th. And I'm probably going to, I got to not move. There we go. Almost fucked up the whole formula. So July 15th, 8 hours. July 16th, 2 hours. July 17th, 4 hours. July 19th, 4.5. July 20th, 1. July 21st, 1. July 22nd, 3.5. July 30th, there's a big gap there, 3. So in half a month with a week, so in a week, because 1, 2, how many days? I want a summary. Do what the fuck? Okay, so in 8 days of work, we'll call it 9 days of work, I would have clocked 31 hours. So I'm for sure going to get 4 tomorrow. So 9 days of work at 4 hours. What? 9 days of work for 31 hours. I don't think that I could work 90 and then be cool with it. I don't think so. But let's just play it out. If I did, that's a payout of $2,800 every month. That's pretty fucking cool. Now, obviously, I'm trying to get to a point where I'm selling my own shit and I'm making $1 million a year. But in the meantime, that is extra finances that would be very helpful. And, a couple months of that, if it was 90 hours, for fuck's sake, dude, a couple months of that gets me out of my student loan bullshit. And then another couple months, another few months, I get, half a year, I don't know, buys me my car. And yeah, I don't know. So, but if I really just say 45 hours a month, because I feel like that is more than doable, then that's a payout of $1,500, which, like, fuck, that's almost a month of rent right there. So it's kind of like as long as I work for BT Dom, I got free rent, if you want to look at it like that. Because Lexi and I are moving in with one another at around episode, what did I say it was? Around episode 710-ish. Measuring in episodes. And so my rent will be going down, which is just so great. So great. Because if we get somewhere that's $2,500, then what we've talked about is, based on the percentage of income and stuff like that, is what we would pay. And I think that's extremely fair. And it's also very beneficial for both of us. So, for example, literally just rent, not talking about sewage or water or anything, like just rent on paper is $1,850 right now. And I'm not going to speak on behalf of Lexi. It's not in my business to share her stuff. But if we were to get somewhere that's $2,500, then I would probably pay $1,500 and then she would pay $1,000 or something like that. That saves me money, saves her money, because that lowers my rent $350 and that lowers her rent by, however much amount. If we got somewhere that was, $3,000, which I don't want to, I just don't need to, then, I would probably pay the same amount that I do now. And then I'm just not going to speak on behalf of what she's got going on, but, it would just be beneficial for both of us. I'll just leave it at that. So, where was it going with that? So yeah, rent will go down because we'll be living together. So it'll be, split it. And so as long as I work 45 hours a month, which 12 hours a week, so doable. What's realistic, do you think, for me? Let's see. Let me think about this. If I put in 3 hours a day, it's 21 hours a week. It's 84 hours a month. Let's just go 80. Is that likely? I don't know. I feel like 70. We'll just go 60. We'll bank on 60. So that's $1,800. But what would I need for $2,000? Would it be 60? 66? Oh, 60. It'd be 64. Wait, what the fuck is going on? 64. 64 hours would be $2,002. In an ideal world, dude, I just pay for rent and Lexi doesn't have to. And I would love that. I genuinely mean it when I say that. I just want to be in a position to where nobody around me has to pay for shit and they can just go live their life. That would be a dream come true for me. Now, I know that there is a lot of precautions I need to take if I'm going to do that. People need to learn lessons. People need to understand they need to learn how to work for stuff and earn things. As much as for example, I would 100% pay off every single goddamn thing my grandparents own. I don't think they have to pay for anything because we'll leave it at that. I think all their shit's paid off. But someone like my mom, I feel like she's old enough that she's learned every possible lesson there is for her and what it's like to work hard to earn your things rather than be given everything. And I think I can see that for all of my adult family members. I would say all of my cousins, I don't think I'd want to do that. Definitely the much younger ones, or the ones that are old enough to, I don't know, maybe between, I don't even know, 8 and up. I don't think I would, because I don't want to get into this, but my mom never, I bought my own car. I paid for my own insurance, bought my own phone, bought my own clothes. This is when I got a job. Everything before that, I didn't really pay for much. But as soon as I got a phone, I started paying for that. I got a phone, my mom paid for it. As soon as I got a job, it was like, hey, you're paying for it. But it wasn't like, hey, you have a job now, so you can, it was just like, hey, so this is what we're going to do. I'll pay this much if you have a job, blah, blah, blah. And what's so funny is what started me buying clothes, and there's this whole segment of my life where I was absolutely obsessed with Hollister clothes. Any family member that's listening will absolutely laugh hearing this, but I wouldn't wear any clothes that weren't from Hollister. Dead ass serious. If it was from anywhere but Hollister, I wouldn't wear it. Wouldn't even have it in my closet. I didn't want it. But what started that was my dad actually stopped buying me clothes for my birthday and stuff like that. I think it was because he was like, hey, you have a job, you can do this. And I was like, I don't think that's what happened, actually. I think it was just I was being a little brat, and I was like, nobody's buying me clothes. I want clothes, so I'm going to buy it now. And because I was getting my Fresh Market bagger checks, I was a bagger at Fresh Market, it was my first job. I was getting my bi-weekly checks of $300. Big baller right there. I would spend $300 on clothes. I'm not even bullshitting. Every 2 weeks, I would wake up, look at Hollister's website, the morning paper, and I'd see what new clothes they had, and I would order. And that summed up my high school career right there. Any photo that I'm in from high school, guarantee I'm wearing Hollister. It's so funny. Matter of fact, let's go and see if I can find any. And I'm just gonna look at 5 photos, we'll say. So let's go back to 2023 through 4. So if I just click on Okay, look on this one. So I'm wearing a Hollister t-shirt. It's white with a blue forest. I've got a gray Hollister zip-up hoodie. It's gray. And then I've got a black Hollister jacket, which I still have today and still wear. And I'm wearing denim jeans from Hollister. Next photo, me wearing a pink Hollister V-neck shirt, making a funny face, walking to the gym. Next photo, me and my friend, I'm wearing that same black Hollister jacket with a V-neck, I don't know, navy and white striped shirt. All right, next one. These are all baby photos for some reason. Okay, next one, I'm hiking. I have a gray Hollister shirt. It's got surfboards. And then I've got striped shorts that are blue and white from Hollister. Next one is, okay, I'm wearing some swim shorts that are not from Hollister, but my shirt is. I'm wearing, I think, flip-flops probably. Yep, you can see the fucking bird. Dude, obsessed. Oh, I'm also wearing a Hollister hat. You can see the logo. Dude, obsessed. Anyway, started buying all my own shit. So going back to what I was saying, I was never given anything. Everything that I have, I've worked for. I think at the very most, I've had my mom or my dad be a co-signer on a loan or a car or anything like that. My first car, I saved up all the money. I financed it myself. And I'm not talking shit on people who do get things given to them or they, whatever. But I think that my mom did a very good job in that she had me learn those lessons and taught me how to save and put money aside for the things that I want and the things that are important and how to budget. I mean, like, she didn't sit there and teach me how to budget. I think I had common sense of, okay, if I make $300, that's $600 a month. Whatever I spend on, whatever I buy per month can't be more than $600. I think that's as far as my budgeting knowledge went. So, as long as I bought $599 of clothes, like, I'm still making money. You know what I mean? So, anyway, going back to what I was saying, if I'm raking in this money, dude, I would just love to pay off everybody's debt. I would love to buy everybody a gym membership, buy them all meal plans, subscription services. So I would just love to just do that for my family because it's a whole other episode. I just love my family very much, despite, the small things that are, whatever. But I just, sorry to any cousins that are listening. I probably just wouldn't do anything because I wouldn't, knowing, so this is me being fucking words of wisdom Bryson here, but knowing now what it's like to work for all my shit, I wouldn't want that experience or the lessons robbed from me if I were to give it to somebody else. If I were to just give, for example, Jake, if you're listening, if I were to just give you 50 grand, I would feel guilty in a sense. Like, I'd feel like a baller because I'm like, oh, I gave my cousin 50 grand. I would probably feel guilty later on knowing that there's a high chance that I probably robbed you of a lot of lessons that you could have learned from working your ass off for an extended period of time to get the 50 grand to then use it on whatever. And I feel like I'm going way deep into this when I don't even need to be. All I'm trying to say is I'd probably help out every single person that I could and then go from there. Why did I even get started on this? Oh, because I would love to be able to provide everything for everyone in my immediate circle. I would just love to be able to do that. And it goes back to, it's probably really close to an episode ago, a year ago, where my family came over to use my pool at my townhome property. And I made the comparison or the analogy that, yeah, they could have gone to any pool in the goddamn state, but they chose to come here. And the only reason why they're allowed to come here is because I live here. And the only reason why I live here is because I make a certain income to afford a townhome like this. And the only reason why I make a certain income is because I was working 3 jobs at the time to be able to, and so going down the chain of things, I was like, the only reason why they're able to use this pool is because I'm working my ass off and providing for my family. That's how I tied it in. I try to tie these things in to the work that I put in so that it kind of reinforces the behavior to keep on going. And so anyway, I would love to be able to, I feel like I tied my way back in. I found my way back. Holy shit, can I just do this always? I'd love to be able to pay for Lexi's rent, her portion of rent, and just not worry about it. Because the amount of stress that would relieve from her, and the fucking pride that I'd feel, I just would love that. So, and I'm not even saying this to flex or to boast or whatever. I feel like I justify everything that I say on here for fear of judgment of what people currently listening in my life now today might think. But I don't need to. There's proof that I guess I care what people think. I wouldn't feel the need to justify if I didn't. So also when people say they don't care about what other people think, it's such a fucking lie, bro. I feel like you don't even, I've said this so many times. I've said, I don't care what other people think so many times. But if I didn't, I wouldn't even feel the need to say that. Because by even saying it, it's letting other people know that you don't care what they think, which implies that you do care what you think because you want them to know that you don't care. And so anybody who says that, and I guess this is just, again, words of wisdom, Bryson, anybody who says that, they're insecure. That's just what I think. And now certain people do say it and they just don't give a fuck. Some people say it out of frustration, like, I don't give a fuck what they think. That's true. Well, for someone to willingly say, like, oh, I did this because I don't give a fuck with it, you're lying. It's all good, but you're lying. And I think everybody is like a bell curve, You start off and you're like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what people think. And you get to the top and it's like, yeah, I really don't. I promise. And you get to the bottom of the bell curve and it's like, well, yeah, I actually do. And so does everybody else. And I'm glad that I made it through that phase. But anyway. So segueing out of all of that, I got some cool stuff today. I guess I got a cool thing. So I know I talked about Brick a while back, and it's just a little gray magnetic cube. You scan it with your phone, like a tap to pay for a credit card. And when you do that, it will lock your phone. You can select which apps you can't access, and it locks it permanently. You can't access them again until you scan the block with your phone. The reason why this is effective is because it forces you to go to a physical location to unlock your phone. It doesn't just, pause the apps and you can bypass it. It locks them. You cannot access them unless you scan it. And I found that it was very useful and I liked it. It had very limited functionality. And I honestly kind of stopped using it. Just kind of went to the wayside. And lately I'm like, dude, I'm getting so distracted. I need to use that. And what's funny is just, how fucking internet and algorithms or social media and algorithms work. Start getting these advertisements for this thing called Bloom. And it's the same exact thing as Brick. It just has a lot more functionality. And it's a little titanium or a stainless steel card. So if I drop it here, like that's the card, right? It's like a debit card. That's what it looks like. And all you do, same thing, is you just double tap your power button on your phone, your iPhone. And if you have an Android, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. It is compatible with Android, but we don't talk about that horse shit here. And then it locks the apps, or you select the mode, so you can have different modes, and each mode you can select what it does, what you have access to, or what you don't have access to. Then it just locks your phone. And the coolest part about this, and this is the reason why I bought it, is because it has automatic scheduling, and you don't have to actually scan it to unlock it. Because once you have a schedule set, it'll unlock automatically. And you don't have to scan it for it to start. But if you want to, so like there's a schedule. So we'll just say that a schedule is from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. I can have it set so that at 6 a.m., no matter what, it'll turn on. If I want to turn it off between 6 and 10, I have to physically go to the card. Or after 10 o'clock, it will unlock automatically. So I don't have to go to the card. That right there, I think, is the magic, because Now I don't have to, for example, wake up and then scan the brick and then start my day. I don't have to, that's the one less thing I have to do. I just wake up, my phone's already locked. I mean, yeah, you can do it with a brick, but when would you want to, you probably want to turn it off at some point. You probably want to turn it on at some point. If I can do that automatically, that's even better. So now I have virtually every app on my phone blocked all night, except, within common sense. And you're actually only allowed to block 49 apps, or you're only allowed to allow 49 apps. So you can start negative or positive, but 49 is the limit. I don't know why. But it also has other cool built-in features. So I guess it just depends on what you're struggling with. But there's things like you can't download apps. You can't delete apps. You can't make in-app purchases. You can't, I guess, buy anything. There's no adult content. There is no, what else is there? I think those are the four. So no purchasing things, no shopping, no downloads, no deletes, and no adult content. So I just put all of that shit as default for everything. And I don't know if the adult content thing thinks that just being on the internet is bad, because I was trying to go on Zillow earlier and look at apartments or look at townhomes, and it just pops up with shit. And I'm just like, what the fuck do you think I'm trying to do? But that could have been a different setting. I don't know. It made me laugh though. I'm like, do you think Zillow is showing me some boobies or something right now? It's very funny. It made me laugh because the thing that pops up, it's like, maybe I could, is that on right now? I don't think it's on right now. Damn it. It'll pop up with something. Oh, is there something still here? Damn it, I guess not. It'll say something like, looks like we can't find the missing pieces for Instagram. You should get back to real life and try to find the missing pieces for your life, or something like that. So yeah, anyway, I got this and I've been using it today. And I really like this thing. Just the scheduling and how it works is very, very cool. And it's also rich with, I say rich, but not really. It's got a lot of analytics and stats and stuff. And I fuck with that stuff. Also, it's kind of got a prestigious, luxurious look. And to top it off, cherry on top, they are local. So they are down in Salt Lake. At least that's where the thing shipped from. So I ordered it yesterday. I got it today. It wasn't even Amazon. It was just Bloom. I think it's Bloom Card. Let's give these guys a shout out. Is it Bloom Card? Bloom. So it's bloom.inc. Take back your time. Bloom is a stainless steel key card that locks your distracting apps. So I don't know where they're from. This is very funny what they did. They put supporting top performers at Tesla, Apple, NASA, UCLA, and Google. They have a counter on here, which is cool. It says there's 2,496 users currently using this right now. Let me see if I can refresh. 2496, refresh again. Yeah, okay, I don't know. And then hours saved with Bloom, and it's 1.6 million. That's cool. 1.6 hours, or 1.6 million hours. It's a long time. Oh, this is what it says. Discord became a taco. Your app transformed. All right. Facebook is taking a drum roll. Your app is okay. I guess we got to take a fucking screenshot so I can just look at this for a goddamn minute before it moves on. All right. Instagram went extinct. Your app has joined the dinosaurs for now. Perhaps you can discover some fossils outside instead. Bloom is preserving your digital ecosystem. Just some stupid shit like that. That's what happened. So that's what it was saying when I was trying to go to Zillow. YouTube got spooked. Discord became a taco. Facebook is taking a drum roll. TikTok is meditating. Instagram went extinct. Reddit is behind the curtain. YouTube got spooked. Yeah. So anyway, I've been using that. It's pretty cool. And it was... What's funny is I caught myself, embarrassing to admit, probably a dozen times wanting to just stop working and just hang out on my phone and like watch some YouTube videos or something like that. And I actually didn't even grab my phone to like, I wasn't stopped by the app. I was stopped by the reminder that I had that, oh, yeah, my phone is locked. I can't. And I don't know if it's any coincidence that I just feel 10 times better tonight than the last month. But yeah, and the thing was $40. And I just think that's such a good investment, because this is me being me. If this thing saves you 1 hour and you value your time at, we'll just say you value your time at $40 an hour, you just paid it off, you know? So that's me being me with the, you guys hear that? On my window. What the fuck was that? Anyway, what else did I do? So I've noticed, and I don't know if I just need to switch things up or I need to start working in different places, but I noticed that sitting here at my desk with my monitors and my laptop and everything hooked up, I've noticed that I think I just get more distracted because I have more monitors. I have two 31.5-inch monitors and my laptop. So I got 3 monitors in my face. And when I'm working, I just feel like I can see so much. And it's just almost like sensory overload. So I get kind of like, oh, fuck all this. I can see so much shit. And then I get distracted because I'm like, I can see so much. What's this doing? I wrote this here. What does that do? And I don't know if there's any truth to what I'm saying with it being like too much information, but it does take up a lot of screen, it does take up a lot of space. And so like if I want to look at the far right side of the right side monitor, and then if I want to look at the far left side of the left monitor, I have to move my whole fucking head. And I'm not trying to go so much screen space. It's just like, God damn, like I have, like the idea of having more monitors is so I can see more stuff, I guess, all at once. But now I can see so much stuff that I can't see it all at once. And I think that's the problem, because if I want to look over here and then I look all the way over here, like I'm moving my head like 90 degrees. It's probably like 60. If I put my head straight and then only move my eyes, I can't see each edge of the screen. Again, it's not a flex. I don't give a fuck. I think that there's just so much shit on the screen and that they're so large that that's the problem. And the reason why I say all this is because I took my laptop downstairs. I've had a desk down there for a while. It's kind of like a desk where I kind of just put holiday shit, and I don't know, when Lexi comes over, sometimes I'll buy her flowers and they go on that desk. Whatever, just random shit. And like the random shit desk, like people just throw shit on the counter, just that's where shit goes. And I've had that for a while because I've had it. But I got a different desk. That one was a nice desk, but the reason why I got a different one is because I couldn't clip on my microphone, because it had a bar underneath the table, and I couldn't put the whatever you call it, the grippy, twisty shit on the side, because there wasn't enough room. So anyway, I just kept it down there. It's a nice desk. I really like it. It just can't use a microphone with it because it doesn't clip on. Also doesn't raise. But anyway, because I got a new chair, I put my old chair downstairs. I think it's just shitty enough now to where I don't think I could sell it. I don't think I would want to sell it. I don't think I'd feel right selling it. So I'll probably just hold on to it as just an extra chair. And so I put it downstairs. Very long way of saying I was sitting downstairs at a desk. But I took my laptop down there, just unplugged it and just took it down there. And I feel like I was just able to just focus a little bit better and kind of just be outside of the office, so to speak. And I was able to it was a different environment and it felt good. I also then because I was sitting right underneath the vent, it's just where the shit is, and I was fucking freezing my ass off. And I don't know the exact temperature that it was, but the air was blowing right on me. So it was probably much colder because my house is currently set to 72. So it felt much colder. So I was like, dude, fuck being cold. This is some horse shit. So what I did was I took my laptop and I went and sat in my car, dude. So I went and sat in the passenger side, cranked the seat all the way up, laid it back, whatever, got all comfortable. And I I worked in my car for maybe an hour and a half. And it's nice because here's the thing. So people are going to think I'm crazy, but it's 90 degrees in my garage. And so when I first went down there, I was like, oh, so warm. And so I just sat in my car, kind of got a little muggy inside the car. So I rolled the window down, got a little breeze, and it was fine. And then I turned on the AC, blasted it for a little bit, and then it cooled off. Then I turned it off. And then I was like, what if I just crank it a little bit and just have it going? And because it's not like I'm going to kill my battery if I just have shit going. It's the car is a battery, you know? And I just didn't like that little humming noise that the AC makes. It is very subtle, but I was like, I want to be down here in silence. So I turned it off again, and then it got a little hot, and I was like, all right, I think I'm done. So then I left, but then I was like, when I got back upstairs, sat at the desk again, I was like, dude, that was nice. Like I was just in a dark garage, sitting in my car. First of all, I'm just so pleased with that car. I love it so much. It's so much fun to drive. But sitting inside of it, it's just like I'm now working inside of the product of my work. You know, it's like what I'm doing has allowed me to buy something like this, and now I'm working inside of it, and it's just pretty cool. Like in a much greater analogy would be like I worked my life to buy a house. Now I'm living in that house, working to buy the next thing. Very cool. And it was, I don't know, it was just nice to just sit down there in very, very quietness, nice, and very, very quiet, whatever, in quietness. I just wish it was not as hot. I think 90 degrees is pushing it for working out on a laptop. I think if it was 80, I think it'd be better. My house is 72, so I'm sure 80 would be great. But it's different when you're, I don't know. And then, meanwhile, Bloom is working the entire time. You know, I can't go to certain apps. And the apps that I do have allowed, in case anybody's wondering, it's like all communication apps except social media. And then, WhatsApp, Slack. I think my Tesla's app is actually blocked. Probably shouldn't block that. But Notion's not blocked. Spotify's not blocked. ChatGPT's not blocked. My calculator's not blocked. Notes app's not blocked. I don't know what else there is. Photos. But all the main distractors, every game on my phone, because you can select categories. Every game on my phone, every social media, every shopping thing, can't go to Zillow. Might see some boobies on Zillow. That's so funny to me. But anyway, that's kind of what I got. And then I have different modes. So I have a break mode where between 12 and 3, I have kind of everything unlocked. I keep some basic shit not allowed, which I think is just games. Because the idea is that it's a break from work. So like 6 to 12, I'm working, and then 12 to 3, I don't know. I'm figuring out my schedule, whatever. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But that time frame is for hitting the gym and getting out, getting some lunch, just kind of taking a break. And so I'm going to allow myself to be on social media. Pretty soon I'm going to need to be on there to make content and all that shit again. So we'll get there. But how are these podcasts so long, dude? God damn. God damn it. Lexi called me 20 minutes ago. Just am now seeing it. Just got a text as I'm going to sleep. I feel like an asshole. I just feel like a bad boyfriend when that happens. Straight up. Damn it. I know that she knows that it's not. I know that she doesn't think it's a big deal. But I do feel bad when I miss it. But anyway, enough of that. Love you, Lexi. I'm sorry. Anyway, what else? I feel like I have so much to say. I think I talked about this the other day, but I got another gadget coming in the mail. It's called Unbed, and it's a same exact concept as Bloom and Brick, but it's an alarm clock. So it's a little block you put wherever, and you download an app. When the alarm goes off, you have to scan the brick or the thing with your phone in order for the alarm to stop. And so my idea or my strategy is to put that thing on my front door. And the thing itself doesn't make noise. It's just the thing that I use to turn off my phone. So I'm going to have my alarm going off. So then I'm going to have to get out of bed, walk downstairs. So I live in a townhome. I have 3 stories. First story is nothing. It's just the garage. But that's 2 flights of stairs. So if I wanted to go back to sleep, I would have to get up out of bed, walk downstairs, walk down to my garage again. So it's 2 flights of stairs. And then I would have to go to my front door, scan it. And then if I want to go back to bed, obviously I'm going to have to go up the first set of stairs, turn, walk down, go up the second set of stairs, and then lay down. Am I going to want to go back to bed after I've just done some fucking cardio? Probably not. But the idea is that I have shoes and socks or something like that down there by the door so that when I wake up, I can just go outside and go for a quick walk. And I'm talking quick. Like we'll just walk around the property of all these townhomes. And if that's 5 minutes, great. If it's 10, great. And just do that. Because I think that would just kind of wake me up, being outside, fresh air. I'm walking, by the time I get back home, I'm probably not going to want to go to sleep. So yeah, because lately I've just been a giant jackass with getting out of bed on time. Like I'll set my alarm, it goes off and I just lay there and then I'm like, huh. And I really am awake for like 20 minutes and then I just fall back to sleep. Next thing you know, it's 8:30 and I'm like, God damn it, dude, there goes my whole day. That's how I feel. And first of all, it's not a good way of feeling or thinking or whatever. But waking up late it's just the act of waking up late. It's like I broke the first commitment of the day immediately. Hey, wake up at 6:30. Oh, actually, I'm going to sleep in 2 hours. Cool. Not only did I break the first commitment, I fucking shattered it, And it just sets the tone for the day, and it's a bad tone, and I don't like that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try it out. I don't know a better place to put it, a more effective place to put it. And as far as this Bloom card, like where am I going to put this? I'm honestly probably going to put it in my car because that way, if I go anywhere and my phone is locked or whatever, because it gives you emergency breaks and you only get 3 per month or something like that. So if I needed to break it because it was an emergency, I needed to do something. I needed to be on Instagram and watch a reel right now. It was an emergency. I could use it and that would unlock. But, what if I'm out of emergency? Because you can select how many you get. It's 0 to 3 per mode. I have pretty much all of them set to 2 because you never know, man. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And the breaks that it gives you are 5-minute increments. So, sorry, it gives you breaks. Breaks are fine, but to break it, I think it's permanent, and that's a usage of an emergency break or whatever you call it. So the idea is that whatever happens, it's in my car. I'm probably somewhat near anywhere my car goes, unless I run somewhere or walk somewhere. So even if I were to, I don't know, let's just make something up. If I were to just go, we're on a date and I'm in fucking Provo, I could still unlock my phone or I would still be able to do whatever I need to do because it'd be in my car. Also, I just think that's a good place for it because it's really inconvenient. Who wants to go downstairs, walk out to their car? Oh, fuck, I forgot my keys. Walk back upstairs, grab them, go downstairs, open your car, and then unlock your phone. Like, I don't want to do that. So I think it's a good spot for it. And this shit looks nice. It's really prestigious looking. It's very cool. I mean, hold on, that was on my book. It's probably like I don't have a tape measure over here. I don't know. It's probably like a 16th of an inch thick. I don't know. Yeah, I think I would say 16th of an 32nd of an inch. There's no way 32 of these make an inch. There's no way. It's got to be 16. I think that's correct. Yeah, it's a thick point, but anyway, got the unbed thing coming, so I'm excited to use that. And I think that'll aid in productivity. And what's ironic about all this is I was listening to a podcast today from Dan Martell, and he said one of the focus hacks he does is he makes it so he doesn't have to use willpower or discipline or whatever. He just kind of engineers his environment to be that so that he can focus, you know? So for example, he has a thing called focus signals. So what you do is you just wear headphones, you know, very obviously, like you put over the ear on or whatever. So if you're in a public setting or if you're working at the office or whatever, people know, oh, hey, don't talk to him. He's got his headphones on, you know, stuff like that. It's a simple example. I don't have to worry about that. I live alone, you know, and even if I do live with Lexi, she's going to be at work and then the gym. And I actually talked about this today. We're going to probably wake up. She's probably going to wake up before me, but we're going to wake up at a similar time. I'll definitely see her before she goes to work. She's going to go to work, probably go to the gym after work. And I probably won't see her from, I don't know, 7 to 7-ish, 7 to 6-ish every day. So that kind of gives me the whole day to work, hit the gym, we do whatever I got to do. And then when she gets home, it's it's very ideal would be I don't work anymore when she gets home. And that way it's we just have one-on-one time. But, you know, she wants to watch The Bachelor or whatever. I probably won't wanna. So I'll probably just work, you know, because I find extreme joy in all of this stuff. And I don't think I'm just going to drop everything when she gets home. I think there will be more time where we're spending together for sure. It's definitely not going to go down. We're going to spend more time together. This is my hypothesis. Still going to have our normal date nights. But I think we're going to have time where it's just like she's in one room doing her thing. I'm in the other room doing my thing, and it's all good. That's one thing that I just absolutely love about Lexi is that she is her own person and she doesn't need me to function. And she doesn't need me to be entertained, and she can do whatever the fuck she wants and be happy about it. I've dated people in the past where that was not the case. And I think that was just like, there's that whole thing. Like if you want to make sure that you're a good match, go on a road trip with the person. I can think of in the past 2 road trips I went on with 2 previous partners of mine. And it was just a fucking nightmare. With Lexi, we've gone on 4 now. 2 and from Colorado last year, and then 2 and from California this year. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. All 4, fantastic. And I would say that cumulative time in the car is probably 60 hours. That's probably too much. Probably 40, at least 40, at least. 50. And it's just great. I love it so much. I want to do it more, especially now that I have a Tesla, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah. And like what comes to mind is like we'd be driving, you know, my hand's on, you know, partner's leg. And then the moment that I take my hand off to get comfortable, it's just like, oh, I don't feel like you love me anymore. It's like, okay, then I guess I don't then, you know, shit like that. Lexi is the complete opposite of all that. And it's just so great. I make the joke all the time. I'm getting mushy gushy here. I just love her so much. I make the joke all the time and I'm like, wow, you're a year and a month in, a year and 2 months in, still in the honeymoon phase. That's a pretty long honeymoon phase, huh? Just making the joke that I still am absolutely head over heels, love her so much, can't get enough of her. We're almost a year and a half in. You know, people are always like, oh, the honeymoon phase wears off after a month or 2 of dating, and then it gets real. It's like, I've never felt that way. I just, like I said, maybe a week ago, there's times where I'm like, hey, you do this thing. I don't like when you do this thing. Can you stop doing this thing? And it's not like she's, oh, what the fuck? You think this? That's horseshit. It's just like, oh, yep. Yeah, thank you for telling me. And it's not like she's perfectly okay with it. Like, I'm sure I say something, she's like, God damn it, I thought that XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Kind of frustrating, but yes, I got it. I'm sure that's what goes on. Maybe I'm wrong. But it's just like the communication is there, you know? Like she's called me out on certain things. Like one time we were at a family event, I did something. Later on, I said, are you okay? She says, hey, you did this thing. I thought it was super inconsiderate. And I was like, holy fuck, I'm so sorry. Like, you're absolutely right. My bad. And I don't think I've ever done it since. So, and there's other things that she does. I'm like, hey, you did this thing in front of your friends. It made me feel stupid. I would appreciate it if you didn't do that. And she said, yep, I was in the wrong. I'm sorry. And I just think we fucking got it. And I'm just so pumped. Just the communication's there. She's her own person. And I feel like the more that I hammer on this, it's like I'm just so thankful that I don't have to entertain her. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever. I'm just saying to the point of she's going to come home from work, probably do her thing. I'm going to do my thing. I feel like there's not even going to be you're ignoring me. Because like she comes over Saturday, spends the night. Sunday, she stays the day. And even then, she'll go do her own thing. I'll do my own thing. And it's like she's coming to visit me, yet we're doing our own things. Oh man, so grateful that I met her. And yeah, I love you so much. And I speak to you because I know you're listening, but I speak about you because I want people in the future future listeners to know. But anyway, so all that being said, that's the schedule. Looking at places to live. It's getting more serious because we have 2 months until, like, we'll probably get a place together in exactly 2 months from today. Because if we're going to have all of our shit out and move into some place probably a day or two before the first of the month and just pay the prorated, for obvious reasons. Like if she's out on the 30th and we're trying to move in on the 1st where she can't be there the 1st, then we'll have to, So, yeah. And unfortunately for me, my lease goes to the end of October. Hers goes to the end of September. So kind of shitty timing. I'm going to have to fork out a month of rent for a place I don't live at. But shit, if I'm getting PT Dom money, then that's, quote, free. So no worries there. What else is there? I feel like I have so much to say. I made a little document on Notion today, and all I did was just write my thoughts. I put stressor, not pleasing everyone in as far as business goes, taking too long to deliver on projects, not building my project to sell. Solution, get clear on timeframes, get organized, work my hours, and then get the fuck out of there. My dream is 1 million a year at 11 sales a month. That was just a reminder that even if, I get fired and shit goes south, everything's horrible, truthfully, all I need is one sale to be okay per month. But 11 sales, and I'm a millionaire. So it's just my reminder. And so then I wrote, commit to this. And I wrote my schedule. And it was just wake up at this time, work these times, go to sleep at this time. That's it. I just said, commit to this. And it's just so simple. Like, that's what it is. Wake at 5:30, work 6 to 10, work 10 to 12, break 12 to 3, work 3 to 5, work 5 to 9. These are just different splits of hours. Settle 9 to 10, 10 to 5:30, sleep. So that's 7.5 hours. Then I wrote, make schedule of apps on Bloom, use Unbed when it comes, and put it in front door or something like that. Get me going out the door morning walk, quick 10 minutes. Use Bloom again when the break time hits for fitness and gym and such, or keep that on the schedule. This also suggests that Bloom in car is a good idea in case I go anywhere. It's, quote, with me. And then Unbed planning, place Unbed at front door. Why? Forcing me to go down 2 flights of stairs and up. No, I'm fucking retarded. I put up 2 flights of stairs, but I put TO for 2. Great. 2 flights of stairs to get my bed office. Could be beneficial to go outside and walk for a bit for a morning fresh air and to wake up, ? And then what I did, so I wrote all that just kind of like to get my thoughts out on paper. And then what I did was this is the kind of shit that now looking at it, I'm like, God damn. I wrote new metrics. And this is the stuff that I still need to create and build for this thing that I'm my personal project, right? And I just came up with, should I count? I don't know. I'm going to pause and count. There's quite a few. I want to know the exact number, so hold on. So I counted 56 new metrics to track. And this is kind of what I came up rapid fire, just thinking about stuff. So I'm sure I could come up with 56 more. And that would bring the total to almost 200 metrics that everything would track. Some of these are a little bit more nitty gritty, like they require more deliberate use of the system. Now, the whole idea is that it's as little manual input as possible. It's all automatic, but something has to get put in, and that assumes that they use everything in here to track everything. And I'm trying to be realistic. I also have to really think of things through. That's one thing I haven't done too well. When I'm making renewals, for example, and then Trey is like, well, sometimes they renew early, man. Like, that's a thought that never crossed my mind. It crossed my mind, but I'm like, it's not going to happen. Like, they're probably just going to take care of it when it comes up to stay organized. That's what I was thinking. But, it happened again with Mina today. He's like, hey, a person signed up for 6 months yesterday, 2 weeks ago, and today they renewed for another 6 months. It's just like, I just wouldn't think that would be the case. So what I have to do for that, simple, but what I have to do is create the ability to renew people at any point in time, not just within a certain amount of time from their end date. And so I just have to think things through. So here's an example. I want to track how many sales calls are booked, how many sales calls are closed, and no-shows. And then I thought, well, I could also track how many sales calls we did have but weren't closed. So how many sales calls were not closed. And what if a call is canceled? It wasn't a no-show, like the person let us know and canceled. But what if it wasn't canceled and they didn't ghost us, they actually had to reschedule? So that would need to be something. And then I was like, well, wouldn't it be nice to know what point in the lead or how long that person has been a lead when these things occur? So I was like, oh, okay. So the age of the lead, I don't mean age like birth year. I mean age of, okay, they've been a lead for us for 12 days now or for 2 weeks. So all the stats, so booked, how many calls were booked, closed, not closed, no shows, canceled, rescheduled, the age of which all of those occurred, and then the average age of which all of those occurred, so that we can get a good view on, okay, at about day 12, that's typically when a lead books a call. On day 9, typically if a call is booked, they tend to no-show. So it seems like they need to be a lead for 12 days in order to get the best close rate, as evident by the close rate percentage for the last month, which was X percentage. And then we'd have the no-show rate, the booking rate, all that stuff. And it's things like that where I'm like, well, what happens if all of this is going well, but then they just ghost? And I'm like, oh, well, we need a new thing, a new status. That status is going to be a whole bunch of stuff. When it is changed, it's going to reflect information in a different cell or a different column. And then that's how we're going to track it. And that's automated, but it's something that you would do anyway. So you're going to change the status of a lead from active to ghost or whatever. So So I'm looking at this big long, I've got 5 columns. Some of them have 20 items. Some of them have 10. Some of them have less. But I looked at that. So the reason why I even share all this is because I was like, I just want to put all my thoughts on paper. I feel like I'm getting so jumbled. So I put all this on paper, and now it's just like, holy shit. Now I know what to build. It's laid out right before me. And the reason why I did this is because before I actually did this, I wrote the SOP for adding new metrics, because what I want to do is what I have built right now. I think anything extra I add can easily be added later, because it's going to have to be linked regardless. And it's going to be a whole new system. So it's not going to I'm not going to have to link anything. At least that's what I think. So I wrote just a step-by-step process of everything that I'd have to do in order to add a new metric to be tracked, to be then saved on a month-to-month basis, to be compared to later. And I'm just going to read it, and then I'm probably going to end the show. But step 1, if brand new metric entirely, then create a property in the correct database. So whatever database it is, create it. Then create a roll-up in the business health database with a magnifying glass emoji to signify that it is roll-up. then create a formula property that equals the rollup property so we can use it in formulas and graphs and charts and such. Then name it the exact same thing without the magnifying glass emoji. Then fill out the info with a note to self or the user on what it does and how it works. And then add this property to the past month's database so that it will populate there when we click save. Then we need to edit in the automation, the save button, to include this new property in the new database. And then we need to test it out to ensure it works as intended from start to finish with the format column, the correct decimals, the colors, the format, everything. So now every time that I go and add a new metric, which is one of the 56 that I just counted, I'm going to have to follow this process and then go on from there. And even just looking at stuff already, I've, like for example, if a coach buys this system and, he pays his closers on contracted amount, not the cash collected amount, that's a problem. So what I had to do is add in a whole configuration of an if-then statement. So if commission base is contracted amount, then use this formula. If it is cash collected, use this formula. And so I had to create a payout total, a payout current month, a cash collected total, a cash collected current month, a cash contracted total, and a cash contracted current month to then track all this new data simply to account for the possibility that a coach might pay their closers on cash collected versus cash contracted. And it's small things like that I need to just think through very thoroughly. And very random, but sometimes my emoji pop-up doesn't work. Like I go FN plus E on MacBook and it opens up the emoji panel. Sometimes it just doesn't work and I have to the only solution that I found is I have to restart my whole computer. Fuck that shit in the ass. Gets me so upset. Googled it. Every single person that the only solution they have is restart your Mac. They'll say a whole bunch of other shit doesn't work for me. Fuck yeah. So yeah, I'm just trying to be thorough with everything. I'll write out exactly what I want to ask ChatGPT to formulate for me because these formulas are fucking ridiculous, dude. I mean, if I'm looking at this one, what is this one? None of these are formulas? What do you mean? None of these are formulas? Oh yeah, here's one. So if commission base is equal to contracted amount, then look at cash contracted total, times that by commission. And if it's not, then look at the cash collected and then times that by the commission. Like that's the full formula. Sounds good in English, but looking at it, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? And Notion formulas make it pretty simple. When you start writing stuff, it'll give suggestions. And rather than it showing placeholders like Excel, it will actually show you what really, like it'll show you examples, which is really cool. But yeah, and also one more thing. I think I'm getting arrogant with Notion because I'm watching videos on people making stuff and I'm like, I click out of it because I'm like, I already know how to make that. That's stupid. I'm not going to do it that way. And I think that's a problem because I'm saying that I know everything and that if you know everything, then you can't learn anything more. But I don't know. I think why I struggle is like, you just use ChatGPT and formulate whatever the fuck you want. I don't know. So I need to be more vigilant of my, I guess, assumptions of knowing any kind of information. But anyway, I think what I'm going to do now is start rolling some stuff out, get all the charts and graphs made, and then call it good to go. And then when I go to add more stuff later on, it's good to go, and I can just implement it and then just build it in. Actually, that's going to be a pain in the ass because, anyway, I just got to, I don't know, man, because I think, I said I was going to end the show, but I guess I'm not. I just want to build a system out, and not that I don't care about Mina, Trey Dawson, or PT Dom, Brian, whatever, but like, at some point, I'm going to have to call it quits with these guys if I'm doing my stuff full time. So at what point do I do that? Like, do I just give them what I have now and then just continue building on it long term and then give them the finished product when it's actually done? Or like, what do I do? I don't know. I also was really enjoying kind of just brain dumping everything in my head, putting it on here. because it kind of makes me want to start like making, what's the word? I mean this intentionally. I want to make some arbitrary goals on a day-to-day basis and weekly basis of what I'm going to complete by when and what it's going to look like and stuff. And I truthfully, sometimes I'll set a goal or I'll have an expectation of myself to finish something at a certain time. And I surpass it by miles and miles and miles. Other times it's just like it takes me, like I account for, 4 hours to do this one thing. And sometimes it takes me fucking week. So it's hard for me to really plan out what I'm going to do on a day-to-day basis. Cause I'm like, oh, this could take fucking a week. There's been a few problems where I'm trying to solve them and they just impossible to figure out. And so I want to just kind of map out what I'm going to do and what days, when things are going to be done. So at least I have some direction, some expectation of what I'm going to work on per day and what a successful week looks like at the end of the week, Because I get so hard on myself because I'm like, dude, I haven't done this. This is still waiting. This is taking too long. Trey's probably pissed. Dawson's probably this, whatever. I sent a text to Trey today and I said, where is it? I said, hey man, I wanted to check in and see if you need anything from me other than the giant ass project I'm working on. Any tweaks or adjustments the team needs, anything like that? I'm still cranking away on the tracker. It's just massive at this point. I feel bad with how it's taking longer than we planned. But dude, this thing has like 1,400 horsepower and your business life will be simplified forever when this is done. And he did not respond. And I would just assume he's a busy fucking guy. But I don't know. What goes through my head is these are 3 clients of mine that I could get a banging testimonial from. I want to get the testimonial for sure. I don't think I would get one if I'm being late with deadlines and not getting things done quickly and blah, blah, blah. And again, I'm just in my head. But then I'm like, well, if they all fired me, that just opens up 16 hours a day for me to work on this stuff. And that's fucking awesome. Because truthfully speaking, that opens up even more time for me to work on PT Dom stuff. And, if I'm getting $2,000 a month, then that's pretty cool. So, I don't know. Why I say all this is because I think if truthfully, and this is going to sound shitty, if Trey, Mina, Dawson, or Brian are listening, I doubt any of you are, but it's going to sound shitty, so sorry. But I think I need to just prioritize my own shit. Obviously make what everybody else needs me to make because I'm, helping them out and they're paying me. So not do anybody a disservice, but when building something, if Mina wants it one way, if Dawson wants it one way, if Trey wants it one way, I'm going to build it my way first. And then I'm going to put it into their program or whatever, or into their Notion, and then add whatever they want or change up whatever they want. But I'm going to build what the fuck I want to build, have fun doing it, and then alter it later on. Because I think some of the writer's block, we'll call it, comes from having to build it in a specific way for someone else when it just doesn't make sense. So anyway, super long show. Again, that's 3 shows in a row where I'm just talking my ass off. But the Mina Zoom call is 20 minutes, 22 seconds. So I'm going to add that at the end of this, and that'll be the episode. So yeah, guys, that's the show. Appreciate you listening to this. I feel like these last 3 episodes, in the grand scheme of things, are going to be some of the most enjoyable ones to listen to in the future, especially when we're talking about the M word, making the M word per year, a million. So Project M1, baby, is in full effect. 1,000,001 M1. All right. Well, anyway, enough of that corny shit. Here is the one-on-one call with Mina. And then after that, it's the show. So peace.
Yo.
What's up, dude?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
Good.
How are things with you?
Another day.
Another day, huh?
Yeah, man.
You all right for real?
Huh?
You all right for real?
Yeah, I'm just fucking stressed, tired. So I didn't get any sleep last night. So as you can tell, probably.
Well, you started the call like this. So.
Yeah, I was just reading something. Bullshit. Anyways, where are we at with Notion?
I was actually pretty excited to talk to you about that today. I just wanted to roll out everything, and then I'll just worry about connecting everything later. So I just wanted to see. I guess because I don't know. I know I was a little late to that call on Monday, and you kind of filled me in, but I just want to make sure that everybody's good to go, or that you're.
I told them straight up, like, they're like. I said we're planning. I know we keep saying that we're gonna do it this week, but I appreciate your patience. We just want to do it right. And plus, like I even said, like Bryson has some family matters to attend to, and honestly, that's a bigger priority right now than rolling it. So we're just gonna wait, and everyone keep him in his thoughts and prayers. That's literally what I said. So
Well, dude, thank you.
Yeah, everyone was totally understanding. So don't feel like people were like, "What the fuck, Bryson? What the fuck?" No, it wasn't like that at all.
Okay, well that's good.
But as long as we can roll it out, man, it's functional. I'm fine. Mm-hmm. It sounds to me like the only thing that's going to cause us to reconnect things is going to be the financial tracker, right? Everything else is pretty much set.
Yeah, it's like another one of those master log things where everything connects to that now. So it's just gonna be a bitch later for sure. Yeah, but
I can imagine. The other thing I wanted to tell you is like obviously people are renewing and stuff like that. So I've been constantly going into the master log and just updating that. There's some people that aren't in the master log yet because it's funny. They're like 2 weeks into the program. They renew for another 6 months. I'm like, okay. So that's cool.
Crazy.
So what I would want, I think it's an easy if-then statement, right? On Excel or Google Sheets. Like if we can just spot check and just basically with like what you have right now, all you would need to do is actually I just thought of a better idea.
Okay, let's hear it.
Why don't I just send you the list of clients that renewed for X amount of months? And that way, instead of you having to go through and find them, I give you them. These are the clients that extended. And then just update their end date.
Okay. Would you rather that than a separate entry that kind of showcases when they renewed?
I mean, they all renewed basically this last weekend, so.
Okay. Yeah, that's another thing. So with Notion, there's a whole database for renewals. So if all you're doing right now is just extending the end date, then there's not going to be a record of that. So as long as you're cool with that for the current clients, like then there's no problem. You can go back and manually add them, but if that's not important to you, then
eventually, for sure. I want to know when they renewed, like when they did that and stuff.
Yeah, like for example, how long has Carrie been in the program?
Fuck, so long.
So she's probably renewed. I don't know, like 5 times. I don't know. So like
no, she renewed once. She like finished her 3 months, then she renewed for another 12 months, 13 months. Because I had that thing going on where if you renew for 12, you get a 13th month for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like some clients that have renewed 4 times.
Yeah.
Janet has renewed 4 times. Because she loves it. So
yeah, very cool.
Yeah, that would be very useful in the future. But for now, like let's just move it along, and then I guess it's a moving forward kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Yeah. I can put a little thing on there where it's like I plan on doing this anyway, but like every client that's being imported, they'll have like a little tag that's like imported, and every client moving forward would be like Notion native or something, just so we know.
But just put
like pre-Notion, post-Notion, you know?
OG.
OG, yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like OG or transition or migrated, whatever.
Yeah.
Might work, whatever. And that's fine. And that way, because there's some clients that we've been deciding a lot of clients the past couple weeks. In the past, since May, we have like 80-something signups.
Since May?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
Like if you look at the shadow coach file. That's how I'm basing it. I'm basing it off of the shadow coach file. I go to the onboarding tracker, right?
Yep.
And I'm just going down to here.
You're just counting?
Share my screen. Yeah. It's here, right? Like from Mark Saman, May 1st, right?
Yep.
All the way down. So there is 65, but then there's also the clients that haven't started yet. So the white ones.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
69, 70, and then these 75, 76.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like all that, but we have.
Hey, so speaking of which, Victoria's on vacation?
Yeah, she's been away from us in Kenya, so it's all been Darcy. She's coming back next week.
Yeah, because all I saw was Darcy, and I'm like, is Victoria the next Isabel? What's going on?
No. Victoria's just been in Kenya.
Yeah. I was like, no, not the pink Power Ranger, dude.
No, Victoria's. It's just, that's also some of the bullshit I'm dealing with. It's like, oh, God.
Have you been having to do calls as well, or?
No, Darcy's been taking them all and fucking smashing them. Darcy's amazing. But it's also just like, with these she sells girls, they're very cutthroat, you know?
Wait, what do you mean?
So when Victoria comes back, obviously she wants the calls. And from a business, like from a person standpoint, I get that. She's been with me the longest and I understand. But from a business standpoint, Darcy's fucking close rate right now is like 70%.
Yeah,
so like,
very nice.
You know? So then in my point, I'm like, okay, well, I need to make some hard decisions. And I might piss some people off, but at the end of the day, the business health comes first, you know? But then another standpoint is, well, Darcy has another offer that she's starting. She's only with us for these 2 or 3 weeks because she's just helping out until she transitions. But then I also think to myself, well, she's also talking to me like she wants to stay because she's making fucking money, you know? She's like, she's making money, dude. So it's just like, fuck, you know?
Yeah. Damn, dude, that's some tough decisions to make for sure.
Yeah, well, I gotta just fucking use my words.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Whatever. Anyways, besides the point. So that's what we're doing now. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're working on. I'm gonna make a fucking visual on Instagram that's gonna say something like, welcome to the most recent clients in the past couple months, and I'm gonna fucking just flex 80 names like in 3 slides, like just 80 names. Boom.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a big flex, dude. Damn.
People are gonna be like, what the fuck? But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it. Was there anything else we should discuss?
No, I don't think so. So do you want to actually start implementing stuff now? So like we can have everybody start using Notion, and then that's one thing. And then implementing what's the current client list, that's a different thing. And then later on, relinking everything, that's going to be, yeah. Like there's like three separate avenues.
For me, this is what I would envision for a clear, clean transition. And please give me your input here, right? Step 1, all current clients that are in the ME Fitness ecosystem get moved into Notion. Mm-hmm. Step 1. Right? So establishing data. We need data there. And our data are our clients. Correct?
Yep.
Step 2, ensuring those clients, 1, accurate data is depicted, so their end dates start to get whatever. But then also, the clients that are currently in onboarding are in the correct place for the coaches. So based off of where they're at in the process. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that would be like ensuring.
Well, how many clients are in onboarding right now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, these might have been delivered since they have their dates.
Yeah.
But still, in onboarding, they haven't started yet.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So these would be the ones that are anticipated start date, are these.
Okay. Because what comes to mind is if like there's, even if there's like 30, we could just run them through the whole onboarding thing from the start, and then everybody looks at it, and then they just know if they took care of it or not, and they just move along. rather than trying to figure out each one. It'd be like a team decision, so that David, Brian, Johnny, Michelle, they all just like, oh, I already took care of this client, move them on. So I would start with Michelle. She'd probably go through everybody and just click them all off. Does that make sense? So rather than trying to put it one by one, like, okay, he's on the green phase or he's on the blue phase, you know what I'm saying? Just run them through, and then whoever sees it picks it up and just... Does that make sense?
I'm trying to write like this Philip George guy. So what you're saying is just transition all of them.
Yeah, just put them all as a brand new client and then just run them through. Because, for example, if I took care of Anthony Sanchez, I delivered his workout yesterday, I'm going to know that. So I'm just like, oh, yep, I did it this day, blah, 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 and just move them on. Like, it has to be that way, because each part of onboarding has to be filled out from that coach. It doesn't matter from who, but it just has to be filled out, and that's how it is filled out, like per phase of onboarding.
Well, these clients aren't in onboarding anymore.
No, I'm talking about the ones that are.
Okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. What you're saying is these clients here are going to be transitioned seamlessly, right? The ones that are already in the program.
The ones that are already, yeah.
So like Marina Gady, for example, she signed up for 6 months from 7/7. So she'll be in Notion. Her start date will read 7/7. She'll be bi-weekly. And her end date would show, what is that? 10 would be 1/7/2026.
Mm-hmm.
6 months after this. Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, what I'm talking about is just people that are currently in onboarding.
Yeah, but I'm asking, I'm going a step behind first for the data.
Okay, so all the clients that just finished onboarding and now they're in the program?
Yes.
Yeah, we would just probably add these names to the list that we already have, and then I just a quick, clean copy paste. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking. So like Andrew LaFudla, he already started last week, 9 days ago. So he'll be in that master log already. We won't need to touch him, basically, right?
Yeah, right, correct.
Okay, cool. That's fine. And then the ones that are in onboarding now, what you're saying is you just want to throw them in the beginning of onboarding and have the coaches just...
Yeah, because like even if there was 50, like everybody could just go through and just like, I took care of him,
Brian would do that in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, oh, perfect.
That's okay. So
the other thing though is the clients that we just add, they still have to be assigned a check-in coach and the check-in day and all that stuff. So like I think like I said before, I think we should just assign 30 clients to every coach, and then we all just get the reps in, and then we just get every client every piece of info they need inside of Notion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, as long as you have like a loom to send to the team for them to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be so straightforward. That's
fine. It's fine with me.
Cool.
It'll be like a team effort kind of thing. All right.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's great because then everybody can kind of get the gist of how to, like, what buttons do what things, just the workflow,
I'm like so nervous, bro, because I don't want any of these clients falling off.
Mm-hmm.
Or this woman, she signed up for a year, so it should read 6/10/2026.
Yep.
And I think she wanted to... It's crazy. She just joined, and now she wants to renew. All right.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't even think about renewing for anything after like 10 months,
Like this guy started 7/21. He signed up for 6 months, and then he paid me for another 6 months. So now he's a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
some value right there.
Yeah, it's value, but it's also just like I want to make sure that's all documented. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, okay. Cool. All right. I think we have a plan of attack.
Okay, so just get everybody in the list, make sure everybody's accounted for, put them all into to Notion, and then...
Can I just give you the people now?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready?
Oh, yeah, I thought you were going to like text it or something, yeah.
I mean, I can text it, yeah. It's fine.
If you wouldn't mind, it's just a little easier that way.
Yeah. Can you see my entire window?
I can see... Well, I'm on the spreadsheet still, but yeah.
Oh, I literally don't care if you see my messages. I'm just asking so you can see.
No, I can't see messages at all.
Oh, okay.
You just see your mouse moving around the every other Thursday, every other Friday.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, I'm touching the messages right now. Okay, Janet, Drago. And remember, remember, I already updated it in the master log for most of them. So I want you to just update it based on what their last end date was, like when you transitioned it last week. You know what I mean?
So you're talking. Say that one more time. I'm sorry, dude.
You're good. So it's okay. Okay, so the end date that's in the master log that I use is up to date. But the end date that's in the log that you created last week has the old end date before they renewed. You get what I'm saying?
So you're just going to send me this and I'm going to go through and update them.
Update in your log, not in my log. Because in my log, it's already up to date.
You're talking about the one that I made that's like Notion prep, all that stuff?
No. The one that the master log that I use, the one that has the red rows.
Yeah, I'm in that one right now.
Yeah, so like if you see Janet, if you see Rita, I already extended it. Do you get what I mean?
Inside the one with the red column or the red rows, that one's up to date with correct info.
Yes.
Okay,
Well, I'm sending to update yours so you know which clients I went and already updated it on my end.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So we're still rolling with the ones that I made to just copy paste?
Yeah, besides obviously the new clients since you created it, and then of course these clients that I just gave you that extended.
Okay. So you're going to send me that list. I'm just going to go through and update my log so that I can copy paste and get everybody into Notion.
Exactly. Yes,
Got
sir. What Heidi's last name is, but there's only one Heidi. Another girl's going to extend for 6 months. 2 other girls are going to extend for 6 months.
It's so cool, dude.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Dude, over 20% of your client base has a name that starts with letter M.
It's insane.
What the fuck is that? Actually, it's probably more. Yeah, it's like a third.
Fucking racist against the M's.
You're racist against M's? You're a letterist? Emist?
Letter. Yeah. All right, cool. Pretty much it. All right?
Did you text those? Okay, got it. Yep.
All right. I think that's it. I think we have a good plan of attack.
Okay. Dude, also, I think I'm just overthinking. I just want to make sure that you're good with what I'm doing because I'm only 2 hours a day and I'm not asking for more. But 2 hours a day, like, it just is limited, you know? And so I feel like I'm going slow as shit. And I just get in my head about that. I just don't want to... I want to, like, truthfully, bro, I want to keep you happy. I want to make sure things are running smooth. And I really do get in my head about this shit. So just want to make sure everything's good.
So, step 1. I'm wondering between which one should be step 1 and which one should be step 2. But step 1, get the fuck out of your head.
I'm in my head always. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah.
Step 2, realize that I fucking trust you. So when you tell me you're doing 2 hours of work, I know you are being as efficient as humanly possible.
I'm doing my best, dude.
Yeah, I know that, and I trust that, you know? So I take that. If, like, look, your hours haven't been exactly the same week to week. So if you add another hour because, like, you're like, fuck it, like, I can do another hour today and I want to get this done, that's fine, you know?
Well, I want to be respectful of the limit, you know? And I'm like, hey, Mina, I worked 80 hours this week, dude.
I haven't said no. I also just don't want you to work fucking 60 hours, you know? But, like, if it's an hour here, hour there, just because you need to get this done, that's fine. So hit the deadline, so that's okay.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
Cool.
I appreciate it, dude.
You got it, man. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right. Awesome, bro. Well, if anything else comes up, let me know. All right.
Okay, we'll do. Appreciate it, dude.
Talk to you, bro. Peace.
See you later.